we'll see. We'll see how I end up editing this video. It might end up being a very weird video. Welcome back, Awakening Beauties. My name is Robin, in case this might be your first time joining me. And this channel is the intersection of fashion, beauty, health, and spirituality. I've been thinking a lot about fashion lately. I am, after all, a fashion designer by trade. I design active sportswear for a multitude of companies, and thus my style has tended to be a little bit athletic. Like, I love Athleta, and they make petites, and I buy a lot of clothes, or have bought a lot of clothes from them through the years. So the fact that I am a fashion designer, even though it's for athletic sportswear, I find myself, as a woman who loves fashion, thinking about it all the time. When it comes to my own style, however, I guess I would say I haven't given it the consideration that it needed. Also, I am 51 years old. My body has changed. My needs have changed. My lifestyle has changed over the past few years, as many do, as we change jobs, as we move, as we enter different seasons of our life. Our needs change. And I've found myself feeling sort of bewildered about what I love, what I want this season of my life at this age, and the fact that I am still working. I've really been struggling with putting into words what it is that I'm seeking. I've been thinking about this video for 6 months. It was in my list of video ideas, finding your personal style, since the beginning of the year. Actually, I think it even went back to last year. It was on my list of ideas for my channel. And the reason it's taken me so long is because I've had to ask myself a lot of questions about what I want my style to say about me. Or more than that, how I want to feel in what I'm wearing. And do I have a personal style? I've had to I sort of started asking myself, well, do I even have a personal style? I mean, I think we all do, whether we admit it or not. We do have a style. If someone was to describe me, I'm sure that they could come up with a few adjectives, and hopefully they would be nice adjectives. But last year I did a whole no-buy year. And by doing a no-buy year, I was able to obtain a few clothing items by using reward points. I mentioned that I love Athleta. Well, I have an Athleta MasterCard, so I use it for groceries and restaurants and whatever else. So I'm able to accumulate reward points. And then I was able to buy a few things last year, which sort of scratched that itch of wanting new clothes. So I was able to get some for practically free. But I didn't go out to the stores to buy things last year. I wasn't out in the malls or whatever shopping. So the first shopping excursion I had when I went out to a local outlet mall that we have down here. I live in South Florida, by the way, which is a whole other situation when it comes to finding your personal style, because I live in the tropics, and really the things that I'm attracted to are colder climate type clothing, but so I have to take into consideration the heat and where I live, that it is hot 9 months out of the year. So anyways, I made this excursion, and as I'm sitting in the parking lot, before I'm even going into any of the stores, I just had this moment, and I sat with myself in the car of, what are you looking for? You don't even know what you want. You don't know what your style is anymore. And I just sort of had this realization, and I kind of just thought, okay, I'm gonna go in and see if I like anything and what I'm drawn to. And I do have a style. I am drawn to certain things. And part of that has to do with my body shape. The fact that I am a curvy petite. and that I can only really find clothes that fit me well unless I want to spend a lot of money on alterations. There's certain stores that I know that they have clothes that will fit me, like Loft and Loft Outlet, and also like Old Navy and Athleta, like I mentioned before, and even now Gap. I've found, those 4 stores, Banana Republic, Gap, Old Navy, and Athleta, they're all owned by the same company. So I found they all have petites, and I know what sizes fit me in those particular stores. But as far as venturing out to other stores that maybe have the aesthetic that I like, their clothes don't fit my body and their proportions don't fit me, and they're not designed for this particular shape that I have at this age in my life. I feel a real frustration of my fantasy self is versus what my reality is. And I'm sure many of you probably feel this way too. Let me know below in the comments, do you feel the same frustration that the fantasy self of you and what you want your aesthetic to be, what you want your style to be, is much different than the things that you find when you go shopping that will actually fit you and look good on you? I do believe that there are ways to wear things that you like and are attracted to that will be, and I'm going to use this word, and I hope it's not triggering, but flattering. That it's flattering on you. And we all want to look good. That's the point of putting on makeup and doing our hair and pressing our clothes and washing our clothes, that we want to present ourselves to the world, because the way we present ourselves it's 1/3 of the style of communication that we have. We have our words, we have our actions, and then we have the way we present ourselves. And the way we present ourselves is the first thing that people see about us before they've even talked to us, if they don't know us. So it does matter. I mean, I'm not saying that it's the most important thing in this life, but I do find it does matter. And the reason why I know it matters is because when I worked in retail, there would be women that would come in that would really, you could just see on their face that they were downtrodden. Life had not been kind to them. They were going through maybe a rough spell. Maybe they were dressed kind of frumpy and trying to hide their bodies. And even like their posture would be sort of slumped over, and sometimes they'd be embarrassed because they had put on weight. Maybe they were going through a divorce and they weren't really taking care of themselves. I loved helping these women to find clothes that looked good on them. And often it would be me picking things out for them that they wouldn't have picked out for themselves. And then they try it on and their whole posture would change when it fit them and it flattered their figure and they looked good. And it would they would perk right up and a smile would come on their face, and then we'd start laughing and talking. And I loved that because I could see the difference that just new clothes could make for a woman. It's very powerful. And it's why I loved that show, What Not to Wear. Do you remember that show? That used to be my favorite show on TLC. Stacy and Clinton. Boy, I ran into them one time filming in New York City when I was visiting New York, and they were in the middle of a film shoot. Just an aside. But anyways, I loved that show because I loved the transformation in the people who, were nominated. And obviously they were nominated for a reason. So it does matter, although in the big scope of things, I'm sure that when you're laying on your deathbed, you're not going to say your one regret is that you didn't dress better. That's not going to be even on the top 10 list. But in the day-to-day life, it does matter. And by the way, how we present ourselves, which encompasses how we dress, is going to lead to certain opportunities that maybe we wouldn't have had we not presented ourselves in a certain way. Maybe it's being considered for a promotion, and then that leads to something else, and it's the butterfly effect. One thing leads to another thing. So I'm trying to have a very balanced perspective. And the fact that I've always loved clothes, and I've always had a lot of clothes, and you just saw my closet and you see I always had a lot of shoes. Pretty much ever since I could afford to buy shoes for myself, I've always kind of had a lot of shoes. So to paradoxically find myself feeling like I don't have a style, I don't know what my style is, I don't like my old style, I want to change my style, it has been a very interesting process. And I think this is going to be a process that's going to take me much longer kind of to figure out. And my style will probably change. In 5 years from now, my style will probably change again. But what I want to hone in on is when I am shopping for clothes and shoes even, I want to be intentional about what I'm buying, and I want to dial in on what the words I'm trying to use to convey for myself so that I can ask myself certain questions when I'm thinking of buying something. And a lot of times I'm out shopping and I'm actually trying things on. I ask myself how it makes me feel. And then I think about where would I wear this outfit? And I ask myself, what would I wear with this? Like if it's a pair of jeans or a pair of pants, or if it's a blouse, like what are the things that I can wear with this that I already have? If that's hard for you to do, then, you know, there are tricks for doing that. Possibly you could catalog your wardrobe and make a Pinterest board for yourself of your own personal photographs. There's a lot of ways to do that, and that's not what we're going to get into on this video. So doing this deep dive, I've started watching some YouTube channels and people who are professional stylists. And like one of them I came across, and you know, maybe I've been hiding under a rock, but I didn't know her, Allison Bornstein. She's even written a book, and I thought that some of her tips were very interesting. What her process is for using with clients, that she has them come up with a practical word to describe their wardrobe, an aspirational word, and then an emotional word. I'm going to sort of use that outline to come up with my 3 words. When I think about the practical word, that I need to be comfortable. That is like the most important thing. Any clothes that aren't comfortable to wear, whether the fabric isn't comfortable, whether the fit isn't quite comfortable, whether the weight of the clothing, because it is so hot where I live in South Florida. So comfort is very important. And comfort doesn't mean frumpy, because right now I'm wearing this linen t-shirt from the Gap. And it's very comfortable, but I think it's very nice. It's not just a basic tee. It's got like a little slub and a little texture to it, but it's lightweight. I love linen. Linen is like my favorite fiber, especially for summer. I'm wearing a lot of linen right now. And that's another reason why I've tended to wear some like athletic clothing, like from Athleta, like their joggers and their pants, because they are very comfortable, they're lightweight, they're breathable, they're stretchy. So comfort is very important. The second word is the aspirational word, and I just came up with chic. Aspirational, like the fantasy self, I imagine myself as the French girl style. And if you look at my Pinterest board where I have, you know, all my aspirational photos, I basically searched French girl style for summer. And so I did a deep dive, watching a lot of videos on French girl style, and it's very minimal, it's very sophisticated, it looks effortless. I want to feel effortless, but classy and sexy at the same time. Clothes that stand the test of time, that are well made and that last. That's the aspirational sort of fantasy self. Third word was the emotional word. And when I think of the emotion that I want to feel in my clothes, it's fun. That's sort of the theme of my life, really, that I want life to be fun. It's one of the reasons why I do improv comedy, because I want to have fun and I want to help other people to have fun. Going back to comfort, I have to be comfortable in order to have fun. Feeling liberated, not feeling contained by my clothes, which is probably why I don't wear a lot of high heels, because I don't feel, well, there's a lot of reasons why I probably don't wear a lot of high heels, mainly the comfort aspect. But on the other side of that, I want to be sexy fun too. And that's something that's kind of hard at this age and at my stage of life. I talked about in a couple of videos ago a little bit about my menopausal journey that I went through very early. I started going through menopause in my 30s, and so a lot of things changed about the way I feel about myself, and there was a lot of mourning that I felt about the person that I once was, and that person no longer existed, and not knowing whether I would ever get that back. And so I've sort of ignored a lot of aspects of myself because you can't go back. You know, you have to just move forward. When I've been reading that book, The New Menopause, it had me thinking a lot about my own journey and how difficult it was. So when I think about, this effortless chic, and by the way, looking effortless doesn't mean it's effortless. It often requires a lot of effort to look effortless. Just like when you're playing an instrument, in order to make it sound effortless, you've put a lot of effort into getting to that point where it now sounds effortless. So the reality is you want to be this sexy, chic, effortless beauty who is always stylish but never trendy, that you don't follow the trends, that you don't follow what everybody else does, and you just do what feels good for you. And by doing that, you're very stylish. But the truth of the matter is, I'm tired, my feet hurt, my weight sort of dictates the kind of clothes I can wear. I'm 4'10". Proportionately, most clothes don't look right on me. My feet are a size 4 and it's difficult to find shoes. My hair is thinning. I don't have time to style my hair in the morning. My hair is freaking changed texture and I don't have as much of it as I used to. So it's just like everything has changed. And so I have to change too. I can't keep doing the same things that I used to, nor would I want to. That's life, we evolve. When I think about this effortless chic kind of style, and I look at the photos on my Pinterest board, these are women who look a lot taller and definitely a lot slimmer than me, and most of them are quite a bit younger as well. But there are certain things that I am looking for, and in my next video, I'm going to pull together a sort of capsule wardrobe for summer, because I have made some purchases, and even though I was trying to do a no-buy for the next few months, I have used some reward points and gotten things for either free or not too much money, and I've purchased a few key items as part of this summer wardrobe. So it didn't really seem like I had a lot of things for summer. So I want to talk about what are the key pieces that I'm looking for. We'll do a try on next week because I have some things on order and I don't know whether they're gonna fit or not. We'll do that in the next video. But really narrowing down, and do these things fit into the category of comfortable, chic, French girl style, aspirational word, and fun. So one of the things I'm looking for is a white flowy skirt. I think that would be very comfortable, very cooling. That would fit into the comfortable aspect of it. And looking at this picture here, I'm gonna pop up. I mean, isn't this like the most beautiful summer style here? Although this isn't a white skirt, but look how she's wearing this. It looks like a silk, a button-up shirt with the sleeves rolled up. I mean, that is just very aspirational, that look right there. Now I'm gonna put up a picture that's actually probably closer to the look that I will end up with a white flowy skirt. So I do want to point out this outfit as well, which is this flowy black skirt with this kind of silly graphic t-shirt. But she looks so cool and chic. Could I pull that off? I don't know. I'm gonna try. It's inspirational. It's my aspirational fantasy self to be able to pull off something like that. Here's one with the girl with the blue flowy skirt and the cropped striped tank top. Am I ever gonna wear a cropped shirt? Probably not. Probably not. The thing is about finding inspiration as a starting point is that you can take elements of something. Like I could find a flowy black or navy skirt and a little striped tank top that I would tuck in, and then I could make it my own. Usually that's through your accessories. I'm gonna show one more here. One more here. The girl in all the blues. She's got this maxi skirt on that's very layered with a blue Oxford type shirt on. Being petite, I feel like, you know, you gotta be really careful about wearing maxi skirts because they can be very overwhelming and make you look shorter. I think the key is, again, the proportion. You have to make sure that the waist, that it's high-waisted and that your shirt is tucked in, like she has it here with a belt, and it just makes her legs, because of where the belt is placed, it makes her legs look really long. And in all actuality, this girl could be 5'2". You don't know, you can't tell by this picture. So I already have a lot of linen. Linen is, you know, I love linen, and you've probably seen some of my linen outfits if you watched any of my videos before, or if you follow me on Instagram. So I've had one of my coworkers says, when I see linen, I think of Robin. So yeah, this outfit here, very breezy with the linen pant. Now, the linen pants I have aren't structured linen pants, so we'll have to just use what we have, but I'm gonna put together some looks using what I have, and then I might possibly, like I said, buy some things. Loving the French, I don't know how you say it, mariner. Well, the translation is mariner type sweater. I think that's really classic. One more look. Let's talk about the ribbed tank dress. You've seen it everywhere. Can I pull that off? I don't know. I'm gonna try. We'll see. We'll see if I come up with something. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll skip that one. Maybe I'll skip that one altogether. I don't know. So some of the considerations that I have for the clothes that I'm looking for is, although I love that sort of minimal black and white and tan and oatmeal kinds of colors, and I tend to wear a lot of those right now, I know that I actually look really good in brights, especially brights around my face. Every time I wear hot pink or a bright yellow or a bright green, I get so many compliments, and so I don't want to discard using those colors in my wardrobe. Just trying to figure out how to balance that. I mean, I'm really not into any pattern or prints right now at all. As a result, I'm trying to think if I have any prints hanging in my closet. I think the only one I have is that leopard print blouse that I bought recently, and it was in one of my videos. I don't think I have any other prints other than that, and maybe some stripes. And the other thing that I am really drawn to is a higher neckline. But I also acknowledge about myself that I look better in something that is more of an open neckline. So just because you're drawn to certain aesthetics doesn't mean that it's going to always look the best on you. It's really important to take photographs of yourself in things that you like and try out different necklines. And really, I think when you see photos of yourself, it's easier to see what works best on your frame. I'm looking at myself in different necklines to see what looks best on me. And I think because I have a larger chest and because I'm, have a very short waist, I'm not going to say I'm never going to wear crew necks or things up to here, because yes, I will. I will wear those if I want to. But acknowledging that what looks best on me is something with a V-neck, a scoop neck, more open neckline. And the other thing I'm thinking a lot about is balance and proportion. I've been following TB, is it TB or Tibby? The fashion house. and they have a whole YouTube channel, and I knew the company. I knew that they were sort of a minimalist aesthetic, but since I don't know that I would look good in their clothes, I never really paid much attention. But boy, they've done, I think they've even written a book about style and whatnot. And they have some very interesting concepts. And so I've been watching their videos and reading their blog about taking things that have this ick factor, which would be something that you're drawn to, but maybe it looks gaudy or you don't really know how to wear it. But by pairing it with something more minimal and, all about proportion, about showing the right amount of skin, because sometimes it just takes rolling up your sleeves and for something to not look frumpy and overwhelming on you. I realize that I'm not demonstrating anything. I'll probably be popping up pictures once I start editing this video. I feel like I'm just a talking head right now because these are really just theoretical concepts at this point, and I know that I need to put them into practice, and I am intending to do that in the next video, but I'm just not quite ready to do it at this point. But I've delayed long enough, and I'm really trepidatious about this video for some reason, because I don't want to come across as I'm trying to be an authority on anything, because I'm not an authority, and I don't know everything that's right for you and for your body and your lifestyle. I just know what I'm working on for myself. Like I said, I'm in the beginning process of re-evaluating what my style is. Style is not following trends. Style is finding your own personal expression of how you're presenting yourself to the world. I hope you'll give me grace that I just needed to start talking about it because I'm thinking about it, and this is the beginning process for me of redefining what I'm working on with my style. And is it going to save the world? No, it's not going to save the world. Is it going to improve my life? I don't think so. It might make getting dressed easier and feeling that I love what I'm wearing. But anyways, I'm going to end this here, and I hope you've gotten something out of it. Maybe it's caused you to start thinking about your own style and how you want to evolve your own style, and if there's room for improvement, what you want your style to say about you. And if you have your 3 words, let me know down below. What are the 3 words that you would use to describe the style that you want? Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, you're doing great.